Visit the app for latest odds and find out why it's never ordinary at Bet365. Must be 19 plus. Ontario only. Please play responsibly. So, Morning, what did you say that you thought Connor was going to have tonight?
3 points.
3 points. Okay, let's check what that pays. That is plus 280 for Connor McDavid to have 3 points.
I think he's good too.
Imagine being so good at hockey that a book is like in Game 6 of the Stanley Cup final, you're going to have you're plus 280 to have 3 points. That's insane. So that's the number there. Leon Draisaitl plus 400 for 3 points tonight. The actual line on the game tonight, money has come in on the Panthers because yesterday, what did we say they were minus 150?
Yep.
They are now up to minus 160 on the money line. The Edmonton Oilers plus 135 underdogs in Game 6 in Florida. I just got to tell you, feels a little bit tempting to me. And I wanted to check in on this too quickly before we go to break. Stanley Cup handoff. We talked about this before the start of the series, and the favorite was Nate Schmidt.
Okay.
Who is the favorite now?
Bob.
Brad Marchand is the favorite.
Oh, gosh, Justin.
Hey, Brad.
Brad Marchand, plus 190, still tied with Nate Schmidt at plus 190. If they give the Stanley Cup to Nate Schmidt
Over Brad
before
Marchand.
Brad Marchand, I will...
Brad's won one. They
so
might.
what?
They might.
So what? That was like 20
Next
years ago.
oldest guys are Noshik, Rodriguez, Sturm.
And then if you
Sturm
go...
hasn't played. That was a deadline edition.
Yeah, so they go, and then it goes, Ryan Nugent-Hopkins is the next favorite at plus 600, ahead of Leon Draisaitl, which is very confusing to me. Sergei Bobrovsky plus 1,100, Seth Jones plus 1,200, down to Aaron Ekblad at 30 to 1. Anyways, Nate Schmidt, if they, like I said, I'm not going to be a hockey fan anymore if they give it to Nate Schmidt over Brad Marchand.
I like Nate Schmidt.
I do too. Brad Marchand scored 25 goals in 4 games. And anyway, that was Game Time presented by Bet365. Visit the app for latest odds and find out why it's never ordinary at Bet365. Must be 19 plus. Ontario only. Please play responsibly.
Okay, let's take a quick break here, and when we return, we'll go around the NHL a little bit, including Tage Thompson. Good player.
Let's talk about it.
Real good player. He had an interview, a response.
Yeah, with our boy Andy Strickland on Cam and Strick. Boy, he's making a lot of news recently, our boy Strick.
I guess.
Sure is.
Holy smoke.
All right, that and
That
more
dude.
when we return to Real Kipper and Bourne. Welcome back into the studio. Nick Kiprios, Justin Bourne, Sammy McKee. Lots of scuttlebutt around the league. I think a few teams are calling in on the Buffalo Sabres, from what I hear. Yeah.
I'm the name JJ Peterka has been out there,
Yeah.
which, by the way, really good player, pretty young. That one would scare me.
New Reinhardt just dropped.
Like, how many good players can this Sabres organization lose?
Yeah.
What is it? What's going on?
Just lose it, and then no one wants to be there.
I
and
think
stuff's
teams.
gonna
I
turn
think
around.
teams are starting to kind of. They want to try to pounce right now
Certainly.
on a vulnerable franchise that needs to do something quick to get the fan base back.
Yeah, but what's that? By the way, Peterka was born in the year 2002. 23 years old.
So Tage Thompson, Sammy,
Yeah.
went on the air the other day.
He went on with Cam Jansen and Andy Strickland on Cam and Strick, and I just saw Andy tweet this out today, and I thought the clip was worth playing. For if you're a Sabres fan, maybe avert your ears, but we'll play the clip of him. He got hammered by Nosek, right?
Yeah.
And there was a lack of response, and we talked about it.
Softest team in the
Yeah.
league.
So
last
let's play the clip there, Derek, if we could.
It was a weird situation, to be honest with you, because when the hit happened, I didn't even know what happened. Like, I didn't see him. I didn't know what was going on. I just kind of blacked out, came to, and then was kind of helped off the ice. But watching it on replay, I thought it was a little dirty. I would have liked someone to step in for sure. I was a little shocked by that. Our team is great guys, and they all said sorry and should have done something. Even if we didn't see it or knew what happened, we should have stepped in and at least done something. Which, yeah, I get it. The game happens fast. Maybe you didn't know what to do in the situation or how to react. I don't know, because I wasn't in that situation, right? I was the one laying on the ice. But Lindy came in and just said that can't happen again. And if you see someone laying on the ice or someone gets hit like that, you better step in and do something. I think after that, there was a great response, and I don't think we had another problem like that the rest of the season, which is good.
Yeah, I got no problem with any of that.
I have no problem with it, but I do think it's instructive that the player who was hurt, who is their best player,
Yeah.
thought his teammates should have stood up for him. I think that's not good. But they said sorry.
They
Well,
apologize.
The important thing is that he's not saying anything to the public that hadn't already been said in the dressing room.
Right.
So when he states that the team said sorry, it means that it was discussed, and the teammates know they were in the wrong. So making it public is fine for me because that discussion already happened, and there's no real secrets that you're giving away other than the fact that we need to be better and tighter as a team together.
Yeah, but it's like if my dog sees a paper towel on the ground, he'll eat it, and then I'll smack him and be like, "Don't," whatever.
Yeah.
And then I've told him, and it's been public. He'll still do it next time. I promise.
I know, but smack
So
yourself because you're the one that put the tissue down there in the first place.
Well, this is me with the Sabres, where it's like they might know they should do stuff, but they don't have those guys, Kip. They're not.
Well, that's a different animal,
Yeah.
right? That's a different conversation. That's a managerial decision to be made in the future.
Yes, it
is.
is.
That if you don't have the guys, and we can look at the Toronto Maple Leafs, Sammy,
I
and
was gonna
say
say.
the same thing. It's like,
But they've
It reminded me.
taken pains
right?
to find the guys.
And worse is whether you're Buffalo or Toronto or any other team sitting on the sidelines right now, you are watching a team like the Florida Panthers do it right.
do it right. And you're looking at Paterka and Benson and Jack Quinn and Peyton Krebs and all these guys.
Painful reminders of who did Marchand grease into the boards, and was it Liljegren?
Liljegren, he slew foot and
Yeah,
snapped
greased
his
him.
ankle.
And then the Leafs did nothing. I particularly remember Kipper coming in the next day and being irate about it.
Yeah.
And I remember Sheldon Keefe coming out in the media and being like, "Oh, we had a meeting to talk about how, this is how you respond to that." It's like, if you got to have a meeting, you probably don't have the right group of guys. And that's one of the big changes that Berube came in here and we gave him praise for this year, was that side of it was much more just natural. And it's just like, it wasn't like they were running around, but it felt like they were sticking up for each other a little bit better than they had
It was
in years
better.
past.
For sure, it was better.
So then,
But still not good enough at the end.
no,
Still
I
not
agree.
good enough.
Totally agree.
Talon was a nice addition. He was one of the few guys who was
Yeah.
eager to be in there.
Yeah, wouldn't have minded one goal in the playoffs.
Well, I'm talking about the others.
Yeah, okay, yeah. But no, it's hard to teach a group of players, like you just said, like that,
Yeah.
to act that way. And you said, that's what makes the Florida Panthers so great, is they are hyenas. They're dogs on a
Yeah.
bone. Whenever something bad happens, all of them arrive. They're always all together.
Edmonton had it. Like they had it going for a little while there. They had the balanced scoring, but they also had that toughness and Evander Kane. Like when he's on, he's really good.
Yeah,
and he's a fantastic athlete, and
special.
He's
There's
he's
only
a
a few
specimen.
guys, like him and Tom Wilson and guys who can score 30 and beat you up, and they're a rarity.
He needs to find that tonight. I don't know if he's gun shy now because all of a sudden there's a parade to the penalty box with him. He can't keep his stick down.
I said
and
the
he's
very thing. Everyone was like, you got to tell
gun-shy.
these guys to be disciplined, be careful, don't take penalties. Like,
Yeah.
don't
and
tell Kane that.
They've neutered him.
Yeah,
Yeah.
like go do your thing. Go be, you need some of that.
But I think you need that through the first 4 games.
I totally get your point.
Right now, it's not.
Now's
that
not the time to
You're
go
not
be
sending
tough
a
guy.
message. You're
Right.
trying to send a message into the net.
No,
Oh.
you gotta just initiate though the push, and you hope that they can
The
take
physicality, yeah.
They have to drive it. It's a natural reaction to retaliate or do something that your subconscious drags you into that you didn't necessarily want to do. That's where Evander Kane has to be that force first. Can't think about scoring goals right away without going through a process. And part of that process is the moment the puck drops that you're on your toes and they're on their heels.
Yeah.
And that has not